Welcome to From the Den podcast, providing Bears and NFL fans alike with compelling news, discussion, and debate. I'm your co-host Benjamin, joined alongside my dear friend and co-host Oren.
Hey Benjamin, let's get right into it. As always, kickoff starts now.
On to Cole Kmet. Just a quick question. Do you think that the Bears should have drafted a different tight end other than Kmet? Was he taken too high? Was he a steal? Was he taken at the perfect place? Just what are your thoughts on the draft selection of Cole Kmet? Just a quick little
I'm still happy, and I think that people who aren't necessarily Bears fans think that the draft pick was pretty bad because they say, oh, the Bears already signed Jimmy Graham. The Bears have 8 tight ends. Why do they need another? They don't understand is that 5 of those tight ends won't be on the roster. 2 of those tight ends won't really do anything on any NFL team. Mm-hmm. So really, the Bears don't really have that many tight ends. It's the number might seem crazy, but they're only fighting for the tight end 3 and 4 position, which won't even be utilized that much. Like I get that it's that position is needed and they do need to see who's best for it, and that's why I'm not totally upset that they have these many tight ends. But I think the Bears are made fun of for this, and find something else to make fun of the Bears for. 8 tight ends, as a Bears fan, I wouldn't even make fun of them. There are plenty of other things to make fun of them for, and that's not one of them. And I think that the Jimmy Graham signing, the Bears know what he's supposed to be. And I don't think the Bears expect him to be anything but a red zone player or possibly occasionally added in a bit more. But I think that Cole Kmet is the Bears' focal point of the offense. Not focal point of the offense, but he is going to be a big part of the offense day one. And I think that just knowing how much Matt Nagy wants to get the ball to the tight end, he's having a tight end opening up the field just makes everything easier for everyone else. And I think that he's just so desperate to get a tight end, to just get a successful tight end, and that's why he drafted Cole Kmet. And I think that they got him at the perfect spot. He was supposed to go a bit higher.
Well, also about getting at the perfect spot, something to take into account. I was trying to look him up. I can't find the exact player's name, but I know that there was a particular tight end that was being compared to Kmet, or just they were supposed to go around the same spot, and that tight end actually dropped to the 4th round. So it raises the question, did the Bears reach on Cole Kmet if they could have gotten this very similar tight end, who some people even said was better than Kmet, in the 4th round? Or was it just that this guy slid and Kmet was a fine selection?
I think
it's something to take into account.
I could be wrong, but I'm fairly confident Kmet was the consensus number 1. Mm-hmm. That everyone can make an argument like Tua Tagovailoa is better than Joe Burrow, but there wasn't really a doubt in anyone's mind that Joe Burrow wasn't going number 1.
Yeah.
So there are always a few people who say this or that, but I think Cole Kmet was supposed to be taken late first, early second. And the Bears got him a bit later, and I was actually surprised. I thought that I wasn't expecting the Bears to take him, and I'm happy that they took him. But I think that the Bears got a good pick right at around where they should have, because even though, like I said, the Bears, the Bears didn't have a real tight end that they could have used. I still think that the Bears had a bit bigger needs. So that's why I think it's the perfect time, because they kind of got him as not a steal, but he's supposed to be picked a bit earlier. But they got him they got him at a good time, and it fits a need. It's not, I wouldn't say the biggest need that they had, but later I feel like they addressed mostly all of their needs this offseason. So
I think the tight end was the Browns taking Harrison Bryant. I think that was the guy I was thinking of, Harrison Bryant. I just found it. But yeah, I'm going to go pretty quickly with what I was saying. I've already shared most of my insights, and I realized that we did go over this in a previous video where we went over all the Bears draft picks. Yes, the Bears had a lot of needs to address, and yes, they did already sign Graham. From an outside perspective, that's a little silly. But if the Bears like Kmet, and if they thought it was the right place to take him, I don't think it's that big of a deal that they took him. I like his draft profile. He's a smart player, as we went over in a YouTube bonus video about Nagy saying that he could never stump Kmet when he was quizzing him. So that's very positive.
If you enjoyed this episode of From the Den, please remember to subscribe, comment, and like this video.
Or if you're a Packers fan, remember to dislike and leave a nasty comment. Click the links on the screen to access additional content.